As I wait for the coffee to brew, I thought I would show you my breakfast. This has been my go-to breakfast now for probably a month. It's half a cup of oats with water, and then almost a full banana, half a cup of frozen berries, and then a tablespoon of this, my favorite, the Adams Crunchy Peanut Butter. I like it because it's just peanuts, and that's it. Today I'm going to show you some food stuff as well as a follow me around vlog. Waiting on this bad boy to go. I'm going to use my frother. This is actually a different one than I have shown you before. The one that I get from Canadian Tire, which is like $9.99, broke. And twice now it has. I mean, you get what you pay for. This one I randomly found at Dollarama yesterday for $4. So again, you get what you pay for. I'm gonna use this one. This is the barista milk that I have on the go right now. Earth Zone Oat. Easy to steam, foams like a dream. Since I have the super cheap foamer frother, I just put a little bit of milk in a smaller cup and put it in the microwave for 20 seconds so it's warm, and then I'll put it in there once she is ready to go. I am excited to be vlogging today. I haven't in a while and I'm feeling inspired. I've been watching YouTube again and loving it, and like I said, I want to show you some food stuff today, so it feels nice to have a bit of a goal. I was just finding that vlogging at home every single day in quarantine was getting like monotonous, and I had literally no idea what to show you. But today we're gonna do, I did a lot of food prep yesterday, so I'm gonna show that to you. Also, speaking of Dollarama, I found this yesterday, so thank you to the marathoner who suggested that I go there. In a Facebook Live, I was saying I wanted a glass canister for my spaghetti. She suggested Dollarama. This was $3 and it's glass. So I was very excited about that. I have been getting like a brown rice quinoa spaghetti for my pasta and wanted somewhere to store it. Those are the random things I think to tell you in the morning. Okay, I think this coffee is done. Let's get to foaming. And voila, foamed a la Starbucks, but at home. You can even get some of the like skinny syrups to make it flavored. I don't like to do that. I just like my coffee to taste like coffee, but I'm gonna go enjoy this and eat my breakfast. My house currently smells like Christmas because I am burning a cinnamon and cloves candle. This is my last Bath & Body Works candle in the house. I have never run out before. It really feels like it's November at the moment. Always just taking coffee from here into here. The amount of times I also find coffee in the microwave. Hashtag parenting. Feels so nice to be vlogging today. I was seriously thinking about doing Vloon, which is vlogging every day in June, but I'm just gonna start with today and see what happens. Let's not, you know, build ourselves up. I will just say, yes, I have super puffy eyes. Yesterday I had a total cry before bed, and I have that like morning after cry hangover where I like have a headache and like a puffy face, but I feel so much better for having a good cry. Let me know down below if you can relate. Just hit me while I was doing yoga, all of a sudden just like whoof. We are now in the basement. Thomas is riding his bike. This was his birthday present. Hold on, please. Thank you. And he just loves it. So it was a gift from me and all of his grandparents. Look at him go. Watching Elmo, and I'm sitting here and working. But it's so nice because he can exercise while watching TV, and I feel like he's at least doing something while I get work done. Having a coffee. And he is having the time of his life. So happy. Let him go. Mental health wise, we're feeling good today. I know it doesn't look like it because of my puffy eyes from yesterday, but I'm feeling much better today. Things that have helped, I yesterday made a list of everything that I wanted to get done. So I just cracked through some of that this morning, which helps. And not in like a, I define myself by my productivity, but just I had stuff on my mind that quite frankly I needed to do, and that feels good. Now I am uber hungry. It's noon, so I have started lunch before even saying hello to you. We've got onions and yellow bell pepper in the skillet. I'm gonna make a stir fry because I bought this last week, this broccoli coleslaw, and I'm worried that it's gonna go. And so I'm going to cook it, and I'm gonna put it on a bed of quinoa, and after I eat, I'll show you all of my food prep. But to be frank, I'm just so hungry. This is actually a lesson that I have been trying to learn during quarantine, which is to start cooking before I get hangry so I make better choices and I don't snack the whole time I cook, because then sometimes by the time my food's ready, I'm not even hungry. But I was so engaged in my work and Thomas was behaving so well that we just went through, I kept going. While I think of it, I'm just gonna show you this little hack that I've been doing. Maybe it's not a hack, but it's like a garlic tip. So I love garlic and I highly recommend it when you're trying to like boost your immunity. I try and eat multiple cloves a day, but if you hate peeling it, just take it with the flat end of a knife and smush it, and then the peel just like falls right off. See, like look how easy that was to peel. So I'm gonna put some garlic in this stir fry. I'm gonna make it. There's really nothing to show you besides this little hack, which I love. I'll show you when my lunch is ready. And then after I've eaten, I'll show you all the prep that's around me. So much leftover, but this is what I ended up cooking up. That whole pack of slaw, spinach, mushrooms, the pepper, the onion, the garlic, and I added ginger and soy sauce. Here is my portion. Now I've added baked tofu, scallion, and the Trader Joe's, everything but the bagel. This baked tofu is amazing. It's from a recipe that I have on my Pinterest that's like a Thai peanut noodle bowl. If you're interested in it, highly recommend. That was something I prepped yesterday, and now I'm eating it. I'm gonna show you the food that I prepped this weekend. I have been dabbling back in meal planning and paying more attention to what I eat, and I've been feeling really good about it and the way in which I've been doing it. This was the first time that I actually consciously prepped stuff. Usually I just kind of do it throughout the week as I go. That being said, I don't have any meals planned because it's just me and Thomas. When the unicorn is here, then I try to actually like plan out meals, but when it's just me, I'm happy just like winging whatever. So, and not to say that he isn't happy to wing whatever, but you know, it's just nicer when you have someone else to cook for. Anyway, this is the food that I have prepped, and I thought I would show you in case it gives you any ideas. But it has, it's felt good. So let me show you what I've made. This is just the leftovers from my lunch today. So I'm gonna put that in the fridge. I made kale chips. This is probably only half of what actually was made. 2 bunches of kale, and Thomas actually did all the ripping again, which has been a good like fine motor exercise for him. He doesn't eat the chips, but he helps me make them. These are from the Oh She Glows cookbook, which is one of my absolute favorite cookbooks, and this recipe never lets me down. I also made a huge thing of quinoa. This is only 1 cup of quinoa, and as you can see, I've already eaten a portion. So it's 1 cup quinoa, and then I do equal parts veggie broth and water when I cook it. And I like to have that in the fridge because it's an easy protein. I was gonna put my, hi, what would you like? I like to have quinoa in the fridge. I was gonna put my stir fry on this, but I found I didn't actually need it. I just ate it, just the veg. Then this is a big thing of lentils, which I cooked up yesterday. Honestly, I often do my quinoa and my lentils and anything that I'm gonna cook while I have breakfast. Like it's so interesting. It's like in the morning, that's what I'm thinking of it. So this again is 1 part lentil, 1 part veggie broth, and 1 part water. And then I just kind of like add in some spice as well. These are good in a pasta sauce. These are just good, like hidden protein basically. So that, like wash the spinach, didn't wash the spinach, I hit that back. Put the spinach in here. Once I washed it, and that was like, it made the spinach wilt really faster. That's a tip. Cut up a bunch of carrots and cauliflower. I've been trying to be better and not buy baby carrots and just buy carrots and like peel and chop them because they're much more cost effective. They last way longer in the fridge. They get that weird like filmy water. And with grocery shopping less and being in quarantine, I'm trying to be like buying heartier stuff like cauliflower. This had been in the fridge for weeks, honestly, and it was still perfectly fine. And the carrots, half of the cauliflower I steamed. We had some for dinner last night and I'll probably have the rest of it maybe tonight. Could have made it into cauliflower rice, which I have yet to do. And then this, which is like, only half is left because it was just that good. This is the tofu cream cheese from Hot for Food. I'll link the recipe down below. It's so good. Like it's in a recipe with bagels. I don't make the bagels because I don't bake, but I like it for dip. Actually, I dipped some of these in it with my lunch today. These are the pretzel crisps. This is a giant Costco size bag. And I dipped it in the tofu. So that's the meal prep that I had done. I think that's it. And it took a while yesterday morning, but it's super helpful. Something else that I normally would also prep is a green salad, but because I have the veg, I didn't really feel like I needed to. And what else was I gonna tell you? Oh, I was gonna show you this. I have been weighing some of my food, and this is what like the pretzels was just in. I'll clean this off, but I just wanted to show you. This is the food scale I bought from Amazon. It was very inexpensive, highly recommend it. I like it to portion out snacks or pasta. Those have been the 2 things that I've been using it for the most so far. It's a pretty new addition to my kitchen. But instead of, like I've been trying to be more aware of serving sizes. So instead of having just like all the pretzels, you know, this says like 11 crackers or 28 grams is only 100 calories. So I'm not gonna count it out. Interestingly, I put the 28 grams on the scale and it was more than 11 because this is like the end of the bag and they were broken. I definitely was not someone that ever thought that I would buy a food scale. But I watch a lot of what I ate in a days, and let me know if you'd like to see one. I mean, this is kind of gonna end up being one because I'm showing you what I'm eating with a food heavy sort of lean today. But my friend Samantha, who's Samantha Jane YT, she does a lot of what I eat in a days, and she has just a very healthy approach to health and weight loss, and I really appreciate it. I will link her stuff below. Sorry, I was just filling up the peanut butter jar with water. And she talks about like weighing her food just so you kind of start to learn what a serving size is and what's healthy for you. So that was a big influence. Is this peanut butter gonna, this is really sketchy. Okay, this is what's happening right now. Trying to be better about like keeping glass containers and repurposing them and reusing them and stuff. Anyway, so that's the meal prep that I did yesterday. And this will last me at least the week, if not more. The baking the tofu was good. I think I actually might start baking 2 packs at once. I've really been enjoying baking the tofu, like marinating it for a day or 2 and then baking it. It gets like crispy and the texture inside is almost like meat, which is pretty wild. Oh, something else that I could count as meal prep is whenever I have extra coffee, I make ice cubes so that I can have iced coffee. Or I will take, like, this is what's left in the pot. So what I'll probably do is just put this, actually I'm gonna do it right now, when I think about it. Put it in a to-go cup in the fridge, or like a water bottle or something. And then I'll have iced coffee tomorrow or whenever. Which is nice, especially as we're heading into warmer days. And then I'm not wasting the coffee, so I'm just gonna put it in this and then refrigerate it and spill it all over the counter because I'm trying to do this one-handed. Was that it? But I thought of something else to tell you. Oh, I have another meal prep thing. Is in this bag are baked potatoes, and I froze them at the beginning of quarantine and have just been slowly thawing them. What I usually do is put them in the frying pan and cook them up. Maybe a tiny bit of oil, maybe a tiny bit of vegan butter. And then we have been loving those. I put them on salads. Thomas has them with virtually anything. They're a good side, whatever, but that's another like easy prepped thing. So you can just do it all at once. We're all about the ease in this house. And if I'm cooking, I like it to last more than one meal normally. This is the snack. Nope, this is my dinner. It doesn't look appealing, but it tastes delicious. So it's the lentils that I had prepped, those potatoes that I showed you, some Daya cheese, and some cauliflower that I also showed you. So prepping the food just makes it so much easier when it comes to eating. Like in that pinch, or honestly by this time of day, I'm usually pretty like tired. So it's nice to have something healthy and hearty to reach for. Now, any guesses where we are? The bedroom closet. Because, oh, that's way too dark. Oh, I guess you can still kind of see. I'm about to record a podcast episode that will go up tomorrow. So it will already be up by the time this video goes up. If you didn't know, I have a podcast. It's called Finding Your Cape, the podcast. And if you do know, thank you so much, because so many of you have been giving it so much love, and I've been getting wonderful responses and feedback, and people saying that like they listen to it while they clean, or it's the advice that they've been needing, and I'm really honored that you are enjoying it as much as I am enjoying doing it. This is something I've always wanted to do. Well, I shouldn't say always, like for the last probably 4 years, but you know, I had a few other things going on. So Thomas is chill, and before we go for our evening drive, I'm gonna let him continue to be chill while he's like relaxing, and quickly bang out tomorrow's episode, which I have a ton of, I solicited questions about grief. So I have a ton of those to answer, but I think first what I need to do is kind of like give a backstory on the podcast to my experience with grief and my backstory, and then I think I'll just tease that the next week will be some answers to the questions, because it's a lot to put in one episode. Just a lot of talking, and also it'd be like a lot of emotional stuff to unpack for me. So link below if you want to listen to my podcast. Subscribe, download, tell your friends. I've done 2 interviews on it so far. One with my partner, the unicorn, so if you've ever wanted to meet him, you can listen to that episode. And then the second one was with one half of Thomas's sleep team, and it was a very informative, just awesome interview. I love her, she's great. Okay, I'm gonna do this whilst Thomas is relaxing. Here we go. Podcast episode recorded, and very nicely only had one edit to make. I definitely am mindful with the podcast that it can be much more like chill than the audiobook quality needed to be, and I don't want this to be overly produced. I just want it to feel like we're hanging out and talking. So that is exported, and now I can add it to the massive website where I upload it so you can hear it with all of your listening tools. It is, yeah, I'm really happy with it, how it turned out. Another thing about the podcast, which is very similar to this video channel, is I never plan anything. I never script anything. Like today, I went into my closet and all I knew was like, I'm gonna give a backstory about my grief. Like, and then I just talk. And that to me always feels the most authentic and the most wonderful. And it's the same with how I do coaching. It's the same with how I do speaking events. The only notes that I make are kind of like point form. In the group coaching I did point form, but in all the private coaching I've been doing, no notes. I'm like, what do you want to talk about? Let's just riff. And that has been so wonderful. I don't have any group coaching availability at the moment, but I do have a few private ones if you're interested. I've been doing Zoom calls and it's been wild. It's been really rewarding for both me and whomever I've chatted with, like people in Canada, people in other countries. It's been super cool. Anyway, that's a tangent. I am gonna bid you good night because Thomas and I are gonna go do our evening drive, and then we have like really nice, just like snuggle mama son time after that. And then I've done this the last 2 nights and it's been so wonderful. I'm gonna do it again tonight. Like reading my book. We're reading Untamed by Glennon Doyle in the Marrieds Book Club, and I'm flipping loving it. It's so good. It's definitely gonna be one that I read more than once. Could be this year's badass for me. I think it's so freaking like revolutionary and wonderful. But just like getting off my screen, and I'm gonna go to bed early again. Like last night I slept 8:45 till 6. That's my idea of a good night, a good time. So I'm going to say good night to you here. Thank you for watching. Lace up, subscribe, become a marathoner. Life's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Let me know what else you'd like to see in these vlogs, especially as they're going to be from my home. I had a really interesting conversation with my mom today, and I'm going to include that in an upcoming vlog and get your opinion on it. I am going to do some grief questions in a video and then some on the podcast because I got so many. I solicited questions last week. I really like to make sure that I'm talking about stuff that feels helpful to you and relatable and purposeful. So let me know. Hope that today's like meal prepping and seeing what I'm eating and stuff was helpful. That's like the kind of video I've been really gravitating towards lately and loving it. So let me know if you'd like to see a more specific what I ate in a day or whatever. Excuse me. 6:49 p.m. and she's ready to wash her face. I mean, not wearing makeup. It's like great for the skincare. My skin is looking great. Right. I've actually switched up my skincare almost completely. So eventually I'll do a video on that. That's it for today. I will talk to you soon. Let me know what you want to see. Lace up, subscribe, become a marathoner. Life's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Take care. Bye.